going live.
A big hello to you.
If you go up to the loft today, you're sure of a big surprise. If you go up to the loft today, you'll never believe your eyes. For every train there ever was is gathered there together, because today's the day that Jenny does the Monday Club on a Tuesday.
Absolutely. So, right, we're just checking, and at the moment,
Hornby is saying we'll be back soon.
Yeah, so what's my Alt plus Command plus 4, is it?
You need to click into the window, not that window.
This window?
Yes, otherwise it will use the commands.
I see you dribble these out to me. So, yeah. Alt Command 4,
Bing.
That's currently what's on the Hornby website.
Right, while you're on this one, let's turn off all of the little bits you didn't want.
Alright, why has it turned them back? Oh, right, have you...
So,
anybody wondering what the death count was, that is nothing to do with the leaks that have been happening. In fact, let's just make me full screen. So, a big good morning to you. This is the Special Tuesday Club for the Hornby announcements. And we're going to be, well, we are live. But the announcements are officially embargoed till 7. But as you all already know, it's been leaking like a sieve. Hornby Magazine's digital version spilled the beans accidentally. Now Railway Modeller's subscriber copies arrived yesterday. And apparently a retailer has spilled the beans as well. So it really is Pants City. So Alex Dent, big hello. Ben Tullett, Mousehole Rail, Sam Yates, oh the humanity. Vobert Becking, Flymo Chairman 1, good morning to you. Michael's AFOL, who let the cupboard monkey out. She's gone back to bed actually. Trains, kits, etc. Boom. David, it's my model railway. Morning all. Wamgok. Angus's Trains, long time no see. How are you? It's great to see you in. Sarah Davis, Samuel Ives, Edward Vincent Briones says, hello Jenny, it's a cold afternoon here. It's a cold morning here. It's absolutely chucking it down with rain. It's dark. I've done a run for breakfast. Got a meal deal. It was easier. So we could get change my energy supply. So I'm a monster now. Krista Duke, big hello to you. Alex Dent says, yeah, that happened to me, the website and maintenance. Basically, I'm just looking for the refresh button. Hint, hint, cupboard monkey. How do I refresh a page? Ah, right, yeah. Is those Apple Macs? There, let me just so I don't keep getting that page. Let's... Yeah, it's. I've just tried refreshing. It's not going to turn up until 7.
Type your Hot Wheel password in. You'll be able to use this when they send you the email. And that way you don't have to put your stuff on.
You know what? I can't actually remember what my password is.
Oh, good grief!
So
you're going to get yourself locked out.
No, I won't, because I've got it on the phone. The phone.
I was going to let her use my nice big Kindle tablet.
I have actually got the list here. So, as you can see, I've sourced it from one of the places where it was leaking from.
Like a sieve. Right, I'm going back to bed.
Yeah,
you shout if you need me.
Yeah, you
actually, phone me if you need me.
It'd be easier.
You have said hello to everyone, haven't you?
What do you think I was doing?
I don't know.
Sarah Davis, a big hello.
She thinks I'm listening to what she's doing.
More importantly, apparently the sound is very low. Have you tried using your own volume? I've moved.
How is the sound very low? Because I can see on screen that you're in the red.
We can actually see on screen. It would appear to be that you guys have got your volume turned down. Although you had a problem with volume last night on this rig. It claims that we're up into the yellow. Ben Tullett says, did everyone enjoy Hornby A World at War last night?
I did. Their strategic use of Gronks in order to battle the Third Reich was very interesting.
It was intriguing. All we've had is the cryptic last-minute editorial decision that... Good night. That they pulled it last minute. beverage of choice is a green Monster. Not the rubbish one. It's the sugar-free. But I don't know the reason why it was pulled. I've moved the microphone closer. It's saying it's still getting the same levels on the mixer board, but yeah. Right. James Hardy, big hello to you. Iron Horse Railway says, I'm very disappointed. I've just been to make my triple fried egg sarnie with chili sauce. It's supposed to be cheese, chili and chutney. Only to find that during the night that the missus has snaffled the remaining eggs. Oh, how inconsiderate. Sam Yates says, sound much better now you've moved the mic a bit. Vladimir Chairman would suggest you're now Cornflakes Craig, Iron Horse Rose. Maybe this will stop the farting. Iron Horse Railway says, absolutely not. Right, let's just do another check and see if we can... No.
Last thing before I pop off to bed. If you need to change the levels behind the switch dock...
Yeah, yeah. I've got one of them as well. That's how it works in the loft. Anyway, you go and get yourself to bed.
I'm going back to sleep. Good night.
Good night. Right, we've got rid of the cupboard monkey.
With Airfix, I'd have stayed up.
Ben Day, I think the Airfix range is being announced on another page.
Have a look at that as well.
Ben Davis says, "Hi all, hope we get the S160." Now seriously,
have a look at the Airfix as well.
Yeah.
Tell me if there's any good stuff. Bye.
Yeah, there will be. Excuse me. The S160 featured prominently in people's wants last year, and we didn't get it. I've got to do the voice now. Call me Snake. Says, good morning all. That's very incongruous voice. Call me Snake. Okay. Flying Chairman 1 can hear me fine. Iron Horse Railway says, for your information, Jen, volume has always been fine for me here. Yes, when you're really quiet, it's great. It's like you're just whispering in my ear. David, it's my model railway, says, Hornby 2023 range available on Kerno. Oh, so they're the ones who broke the embargo. Right, I'm going to create a new Kerno model center.co.uk. Let's see where that goes. Safari can't find your server. It's not my computer, so it doesn't know all the places that I would normally go. So let's go to Google Kerno Model Center. There we go. Right, Kerno Model Center. Let's have a look. How have they? See. I don't see any. They've probably removed it. They've probably been told in no uncertain terms. Oi. OO gauge. Let's try steam locomotives. Oh, I don't like their website. I'm sorry, Kerno, but your website is not conducive to a good navigational experience. So, let's see if we can order this. Catalog order. Let's go to the last one. Theoretically. No, Kerno Model Center appears to have been updated so that it's not breaking the embargo. Somebody did suggest it was Kerno Model Center that had broken the embargo. I don't see any evidence of that at the moment. Sarah Davis says, Model Railway showcases Gandalf's gone back to bed. Zoe's gone back to bed. We proved this last night on the Monday Club, that actually nothing to do with Zoe being Gandalf. We showed a picture of her and Gandalf side by side, two actually. Right, let's just see. I'm going to double check my emails. Force refresh, nothing yet. Excuse me. And force refresh on the Hornby website. So what I'm going to actually do is web. Oh, it's there's the RM web. And let's just bring that up. So let's be prepared, shall we? Where's the horn? It looks different on this. Oh, spinning beach ball of doom. Oh, come on. So, yeah, that's right. That always clicks. Click. That always fixes it, clicking manically. So, Railway Modeller announced that what the range was accidentally yesterday. Hornby magazine has announced it. I'm told another retailer has announced it. Now let's have a look at. I need another tab now. Let's have a look at. Let's go back to Hornby. .com. It just says we'll be back soon. So right. Let's have a look. Oh, come on, silly computer. Right, Davil says porridge now safely accommodated. Now, what's to tempt us? I'm waiting on the time rolling over. I do have a list, but I obviously I'm in the same position that many people are. That it's just. Come on now, let's see what we can do. Yeah, Hornby page is not refreshing yet. It's not come out early. Will Tucker says, morning Jenny and Tuesday Troopers. Tuesday Troopers. Yeah, we gronk it up. Gronk it up. Gronk it up. Not a cult. See, look. Gronk it up. Not a cult, just what I wear. RS wins the bell says, on RM web now. So, let us force refresh. And I'm not seeing it. I am not seeing it, but the time has rolled over to 7, so I can announce that. Oh, come on. Stupid technology. Right. So, we have got a 00 gauge B17-5, number 2859 in LNER green. I will try and find some pictures. Hornby's YouTube is apparently on at the moment, but obviously they stand no chance against us. So, I'm just... Hornby webpage has not come back up. I'm suspicious that this computer is not actually refreshing. It's merely pretending to refresh, because we know that RM Web has appeared, and yet this is pretending that there's no difference. So let me just go back. Products and trade area. Let's go to Hornby. It's nothing. Hornby says 1 minute to go. Well, it's 7:01. Morning all. Feel like an owl. I'm never up this early, says Harry Chapman. I'm normally up a lot earlier than this. Call me... Oh, gotta do the voice. Call me Snake. We'll be back soon with 10% increased prices. Oh, cynical, you. Never. Right, Sam Yates says, now the Hornby page is still not there. This happened last year too, from memory. Yeah, absolutely. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to try RM Web on my phone and see if... Oh, stupid Matador websites goes, ole, just as you click. Really irritating. So Hornby page. Yes, RM Web has updated, but there's Cupboard Monkey. How do I force your computer to refresh instead of pretending to refresh? Because I'm hitting refresh and it is not showing me what I know to be there.
Right, click into the screen. Command R. Forces a refresh.
And yet, it is not showing what is actually there.
There it is.
No.
No.
No, it should be showing what my phone is showing. So, new tooling, Deltic prototype. It's really being a bit useless here because I know that the stuff's there because I'm now looking at the threads that are there. So we've got technical issues, and it would
What on earth?
get rid of it.
That is just ridiculous. Whatever happened there?
The computer is deciding that it's just going to ignore the command to force refresh.
What on earth?
I
don't want reader mode. I want refresh.
Yeah, you see what I mean? Just close the tab. It's clearly a waste of our time. So I'm going to. Can I get in? So we're having a few technical difficulties because of computer deciding
it doesn't want to do it.
So hold on.
I can't have a lie-in because...
You can't have a lie-in because your computer is not doing what it's told. Right. And see, that is not showing it, but if I go back to there, I can find I can force my way in.
Oh, I know what that is then.
What?
In order to reduce bandwidth, they are not sending updates.
Right.
They're
so
telling you to use your cache.
Right. Alt Command.
Nope. Click into obs first.
1 or 4?
4.
Right, so we're going to RM Web because we're not getting it elsewhere. So what we've got, but how do I now get to the other threads that it's refusing to show me?
I don't know.
So we've got Hornby announces Streamlined B17 5 for 2023. This is interesting. This looks like an A4. I didn't know about these. So this really is actually quite interesting. So you'll see on the screen we're going to RM Web because quite frankly nowhere else is working. This is really interesting. Available December 2023. RRP of $209.99. A very peculiar locomotive. Does anybody know how to actually what the history on these is? Clearly they didn't remain streamlined, but these are interesting. Right, Ben Tullett says, I bet they recommend everybody watches Hornby's YouTube channel first. Not doing that. So I'm trying. My entire phone is in danger of being thrown out the window because it's not doing what it's told. But these look really interesting, I have to say. Yeah, streamlining purely cosmetic. It does see that. It's weird. They look like an A4, but with the back chopped off, just abbreviated. So, let's just see. Go to. And see there. Now it's refusing to show us it, and it command refresh. It's refusing to show us the stuff. This is just basically Zoe's got a rubbish computer, which seems to think that it knows best. Right, apparently the website is up. Oh, we're getting a chug now. There's chugging. Chugging is afoot. So, here we go. Right, new for 2020.
Click on that.
What, shop now?
Yeah. And they are new hyphen 2023. There's the range.
So the range is here, just announced.
Can I just do one thing?
What?
Haha, you got an invisible clown nose.
Oh, don't wind me up.
Good day.
Right, just announced. So we've got. Oh, now this is interesting. Oh. I've been wanting this for a long time. So this is the J36 limited edition. Oh, come on. Just give us the picture. Oh, for God's sake. So this is the J36 in green. Unique livery for the J36 was worn for a short while by 65330. This locomotive started life as 7778, built in 1900 by the North British, becoming numbered 9778 and then 5330 under their two numbering systems. 5-pole motor. Why is it not showing us the... Oh, this happens every time. I do wonder sometimes. So, this is... Yeah, so there is a Big Four celebration sort of going on. Other highlights for me. Yeah, I'll be honest, a lot of these have been leaked to death. The DP1 is an interesting and we're not getting the pictures. It's decided that we are to be denied the pictures, so we're going to have to stay here on this page for now. So we've got the DP1. I'm very curious about this. It's the Hornby 00 version. Now, as you remember, we've got in fact, you should be able to access the images on RM Web, but it's not letting me access them. So I'm going to just hold on a moment. I'm going to log in, but for obvious reasons, I'm not going to show you my login. So we're having a lot of trouble at the moment. Sign in, display name. Everybody knows what my display name is. What they don't know.
Not streaming.
Will it just pick up where it left off?
I would hope so. Right.
Trains, kits, etc. Password Kirk 1234.
Right. We should be online. We should be streaming. It's now telling me we're streaming. We should be back.
So, are we actually back? Can anybody confirm?
Hope so.
Not talking to you, I'm talking to them. Right.
You might be, but I'm trying my best here, Jen.
So, apparently the Hornby website has crashed. So I need to go to...
Yeah, everyone says that we're back.
Yeah, Michael's AFOL says Hornby have crashed the whole UK internet. So we are back. Right. So, and now... Why is the mouse? Let's see.
Because you... Oh, for goodness sake, you're breaking my old...
It says connection
Yeah,
lost.
because you knocked it into... You can't put a can there. If you knock anything into the mouse, because the mouse has travelled a lot, it breaks.
Has it got batteries?
It's got batteries. It's actually damaged on the inside. The internals on one of the connections is gone.
Can we get a USB mic in here so I'm not continuously infuriated?
We are back up.
Okay. So, right. Can I have another go at viewing some of these?
You've done exactly what I told you not to.
Stand there and hold that then.
Do what I do. And put the can on the can holder.
No, the mouse stopped working again. Could you just get me a USB mouse? Oh. This thing. Right. Oh yeah, let's make a little wireless mouse. And whilst we're at it, we'll get rid of one of your buttons. So, it is switched on. But, it's not working. So our mouse has died. I'm going to go off. I'm going to use my phone because actually it connects first time every time. So let's work down the list. New tooling, Streamlined B17 5, looks amazing. We've had a look at that. So Hornby 2023 diesel and electric units. So we've got the Deltic. Just trying to have a look at it. Just a picture on screen would be lovely.
Will you please give me a second? I'm trying my best here.
I'm not talking to you. So this looks interesting, although it has to be said.
I need to be in.
That the
no,
okay.
Go and stand over there in the corner and think about what you've done.
This always happens when we come in here. Your setup is rubbish.
My setup is excellent. You don't know how to use it. You're a git.
Obs quit.
I know it did.
Right, shall we turn on in the loft and actually me just go up there? Because at this rate, I might as well not be bothering. And as the minutes slide by, the fact that I shouldn't be bothering is getting more and more real.
Right. Ignore.
So are we actually streaming or
Yeah,
what?
we're online.
So why is it saying it's quit?
Because so there it crashed, remember?
Right.
That's just the update from what's crashing. It's
Just
still
like,
there.
right, okay, don't need exposition.
This is what I have to live with.
This is what I have to deal with.
Whenever Jen is not on the Monday Club, this is what she's like.
Well, it's like you give me a rubbish mouse that stops working. You got a computer whose browser refuses to actually refresh. It just pretends to refresh. So,
it's working. It's fine. Everything's fine. It's you smell, and you made a big sweaty farts. I'm going back to bed.
You go back to bed. Right, let's try again. Now that, oops, I just rubbed the microphone, so if it sounded like somebody rubbing the microphone, that'll be what it was. Right,
See what I have to put up with, guys.
Will you stop it, Zoe?
The moment I leave the room, it's going to cause a problem again.
Alright, I'm going to try again on RM Web to get the information that I need. Oh, this mouse is much better. You should always use this mouse and never use the rubbish one. Right, let's have a look. Right, this is finally now updated. This one actually, in the leak, intrigued me. So let's see if we can bring this on screen. This is the Bluetooth decoders. Now, this is the same system as what Soundtracks actually announced last year. They were actually quite surprised when they found out about the leak. But this is a superseding Hornby's HM6000 control system. There will now be a HM7000 Bluetooth control system. A new range of sound, now branded as TXS, triplex sound. So that basically means they can play 3 sounds at once. It shows that the sound side of the business with the TTS decoders has really been successful. Now at the moment, obviously, there's a lot of issues with supply coming through, but I think that this is definitely a really interesting development. I like this, installing the speakers just plug in, installing an external speaker included with each, so they come with the speaker but they just plug in. I think that's a much better system. They also come with these on sprues, and the customer buys a blank sound decoder and downloads and installs the appropriate sound. I think that this is a really interesting idea. For me, this is the Simon Kohler "you genius" moment. So we've got downloads available for this decoder for an A3, A4, Class 43 Valenta, an MTU, Class 43, Class 91, 73. Now, actually, this is actually really interesting. So, for me, the Class 71, the Class 73, let's have a look, Class 87. These are all really interesting developments. Those sounds I'm not aware of being easily got from any other source. And I'll be interested to see how well this works with, say, the Daypol Class 73 as well. So this, for me, is one of the standout announcements, the Bluetooth range. I don't know what the compatibility is like with this system and with any of your existing existing systems. So will that work with NCE? Not entirely sure. So Hornby 2023, let's have a look. We've had a look at the B17.5. We've got the train packs, Beatles, the Liverpool Connection train pack. Didn't we already have those wagons, or are they different wagons from before? Triang remembered the Caledonian single. Now, Nostalgia does does sell. I've proven this time and time again. So I think that that's going to be a great seller. Now this, again, another YouTuber went and leaked this with their thumbnail. But Liverpool and Manchester Railway number 58 Tiger. I don't think anybody's quite certain what Tiger would have looked like. I'm not entirely sure that it would look much like what Lion looks like. If we can, I don't know if we can make that bigger. Enlarge image. There we go. That's let's have a look here. You see how we've got the that firebox is different. This for me is more of a standout than the Lion that they released, and I'm actually really quite interested in this. The Locomotive does look very good. I did see it at Great Electric Train Show, I think it was, and I think that this is going to be one of the standouts of the range, definitely. What's interesting is we've got another version of the Rocket, 2 more coaches. I'm just trying to see if we can read. So we've got Traveller. I can't read the other one. I'm not sure if they're new versions of the coaches, but the last coach, that for me is a Queen Adelaide's coach. Again, that and the mail coach, I do wish that they would offer them separately. I think there's a lot of people who would say, well, look, hold on. We've already got a Rocket. We've already got more of the Liverpool and Manchester yellow and black coaches than you could shake a stick at. We just want that coach on the end. And I understand why they did it with the mail set. But I think it's now time that both Queen Adelaide's coach and the mail coach were available separately. Because, I don't know about you, but I've got a Rocket. I don't want a second one. Railroad models, not neglected. So we've got RRP £50.99. They have gone up. But this has been released. Firm favourites, these. Great way of getting kids into the hobby. We've got the Somerset and Dorset Joint Railway Ginties. There's a pair of these, number 20 and number 25. The only 2 that I'm aware have ever been released before are number 23 and 24. So completely new identities, and I think that that's going to go down well, certainly for the railroad end of the market, although £79.99, is that each? Or is this a 2-pack? I think that's each. Again, prices is always going to feature. Railroad Plus. This, I think, will go down quite well. A Railroad Plus model of the GWR 14XX. We've waited and waited for a re-release of the DJM Hattons version. It's not happened. I think it's safe to say that that tooling is not going to reappear anytime soon. So it's actually a good idea maybe that Hornby have revisited this tooling. As to what the changes are, we might... No, I don't want to go to another... Oh, for God's sake, stupid website. So I'll see if there's some more information on that. Big 4 Centenary locomotives. So we've got the A1 as Hermit. For the LNER, GWR Castle class, Caldecott Castle, in Great Western livery. We've got the King Arthur class N15. That is nice. We're looking at £209, penny under. LMS is represented by the Fowler 264 tank. I get £209. The tank locomotives at the same price as the tender locomotives. That seems a little bit odd for me. And then obviously Mallard as well. We've got the Mallard. £320.99 for the Mallard. It doesn't tell us what's special about this. Why is this £100 or £110 more than the others? That's a lot of money. What is that, a Hornby 001? I don't know. We're not getting any information at the moment. Let me just have a look down. Flying Scotsman 100, obviously Hornby 00 versions now appearing. Iron Horse Railway says, yeah, that 14XX is clearly left over from their ill-fated trains on films. Sam Yates says it's a 001. I think we're talking about the A4. Iron Horse Railways asks, so with the downloadable sound profiles, does that mean we can load our own sounds too? Not clear. Iron Horse Railways says it's 00. Oh, are they? So these are all 00? They can't, but it doesn't say anything about them being Hornby 00. These are Hornby 00. Oh, that's interesting. This appeared with gold-plated wheels about a decade ago. So we've got the cowcatcher on the front, reappearing, that version. Great Gathering 10th Anniversary Hornby 00 locomotives. So, yeah, this is the same price. That suggests that the Mallard is a Hornby 001. So we're getting Mallard, we're getting Dominion of Canada, Union of South Africa, and Bittern. All in the LNER Garter Blue, except for Union of South Africa. Yeah, a lot of people saying it's 00, so I'm going to assume it's 00. Gus Hadley, the lunatic from Arno, says, hey Jenny, 2 a.m, I'm here. Boom. We've got, after a ropey start, we have picked up again. Dwight D. Eisenhower, oh, that's also in the BR green. And then we've got Sir Nigel Gresley in really very attractive livery. I do like this livery. On the blue. Now this, can I just say, I want to claim entirely credit for this. I sent on the 14th of, I looked it up, 14th of February last year, I sent Simon Kohler a photograph I found of this locomotive in this livery, saying this might make a really interesting livery option release. It's never been done ready to run before, and lo and behold, so guys, you can thank me for this one. This is really, for me, this is Simon Kohler, you genius moment. I am really excited by this. When I saw the leaked list, there was a little squee of joy with this one. So that one I'm really looking forward to. As far as I'm aware, it's the only Puggy Poo that's being released in this tranche. It is the old tooling by the looks of it there. I'm seeing no information. There's no information on like DCC socket style on these, but I'm assuming that's the older tooling. That does actually scrub up quite well, it has to be said. Then we're also getting Somerset and Dorset. There's a lot of Somerset and Dorset joint railway locomotives here. We've got those two Ginties. Now we've got a 4F as number 61, and we've got a 2P as number 46. So it's going to be a good year for the Somerset and Dorset joint railway. And it has to be said, these are the railroady type models, I believe. Although actually, let's bring one of these up. I would say that these fall more within the Railroad Plus variety. I'm interested to see these in the flesh, or at least photographs of the real thing. That's not too bad a price actually, £139.99. I'd like to see what the spec is on these and what the tooling is that they've used, but they do look quite nice. Excuse me. Again, same for the 2P. At this angle, you can't tell on the couplings. That's my normal go-to. And you see underneath, there's a lot of extra detail. Again, £139.99. That's a reasonable price. If that's a reasonable model, we've got the wire between tender and locomotive, suggesting at least that... Oh, but I can just see the bottom of cogs. Is this tender drive? I'm not sure. It doesn't give any more information on this, but that certainly does look potentially quite a nice model. This was what I was trying to show you before. The J36, this for me, look at that. I mean, come on, what is not to like? Gus Hadley, the lunatic from Armo, says, "Hey farmer, I better scram." Hello Jenny, hello Zoe. Look, it's been great having you in this morning, but I do understand it is quite late for some people. There's a lot. I think prices is going to be the most talked about thing in this release, but you know, 164.99 for a J36. That's not too bad. Let's focus on the affordable steam locomotives. But this livery, for me, really is a standout. I think this is going to be a really good seller. Limited edition doesn't tell you any information. Limited to what? 5,000? 1,000? 100? I don't know. It doesn't tell you here. But that is definitely another standout for me. Moving further down, we've got regular range Castle, Caerphilly Castle. In GWR shirt button livery, Merchant Navy class United States lines in very very early BR liveries. It's Southern Malachite green but with a BR number and no insignia on the tender. 8F has reappeared, and we've got the LMS version here. I wish they'd upgrade. For me, with the Hornby 8F is actually a pretty reasonable model. £249.99 though. Is that new tooling or is that the old tooling? Again, not sure. The photo appears to be mocked up on old tooling, but whether the actual model is that. The deficiencies for the Hornby 8F, the front bogie really leaves a lot to be desired. And they really need a NEM pocket for the rear coupling. So I will try and chase up the specs on that. £249.99, that is quite expensive, which does make me wonder, is that new tooling or not? We also get a BR version, again, same price, £249.99, 48518. Hornby, no! You got two numbers into... Oh, sorry, I flipped you the V there by mistake. You got two numbers that should be the other way round, and that could have been so easily 48158. Please! It's the Hornby 00 number, 48158, and then nostalgia would have been satisfied. I will send a message to Simon Kohler and say, please, if it's not too late, could you change that number to 48158? Because it will really massage the nostalgia market. I will also inquire, is that new tooling or the old tooling? £249.99 seems a bit expensive compared to what some of the other models are coming out at. Tyne Dock variant of the 9F, always likely to be popular. This is new tooling, £252.99. Bear in mind that these are RRPs. 80 Pullen says, looks like no new livery 4 and 6 wheelers in the range. I think maybe they put a lot out. There are a few places now where they're starting to get discounted, and that may be something to do with it. So, Flying Chairman 1 says, I think he said 1,000. Yeah, 1,000 says Patrick Link. So they're limited edition to 1,000. Bigger hello to Robert Stairs, MD. Good to have you in. We got off to a rocky start this morning with some technical issues, but we're back. So actually, that's interesting. Right, Tyne Dock variant. Where's the air pump? Is that it there? I'm not sure. Let's just compare it to the other one underneath. I'd have to see the other side. What the air pump, from what I remember, was mounted on the running plate. It's a lovely model. We are also getting a TXS sound fitted version at some point as well. 200. Actually, that's not bad. 50. So it's only a £30 uplift to have it sound fitted. Can I just say that is good value for money? £30 uplift for sound fitted. We've got the A3 Harvester, Collectors Club Loco, not my cup of tea, but there we go. So we've got that's actually quite a solid list. The Puggy Poo is definitely my cup of tea. Diesel and electric, we're using RM Web because the Hornby website wasn't prepared to give it for us. So we got the DP1, new tooling, Deltic prototypes. That's brand new Deltic, but they've gone for the prototype Deltic. Now this is interesting because we've had a prototype Deltic from Bachmann in conjunction with the National Railway Museum for quite some time. And I have to say that it's... I would have thought the market is saturated. A Hornby 00 version, that's nice, but Hornby 00 never did this version. Hornby 00 did it in a weird all-over green with grey roof initially, because they prejudged what livery it was going to appear in. I could see that being an interesting special release with the number that particular, I think it was D9000? Or is it D9060? I can't remember which one they actually... It might have been D9001. But the Hornby 00 Deltic, that could be a future option. I'm sure people would like that. But they didn't do the prototype one. So that is an interesting choice. Really interesting choice. So train packs... Freightmaster train set, so we've got the class 20 up here, $169.99. Actually, these are really good value for money. So we're looking there, RRP, $169.99. You get a class 20. We've got, that's actually really good value for what you get. So I'd say that some of these sets are really good value for money. Now, just the power cars, $362.99. Unfortunately, this is going to be a feature of these releases, is people talking about the price. Now, these are all new tooled. I was shown these at Worley. Was it Worley? It's either Worley or Great Electric Train Show. They showed me these. We've got kinematic couplings. We've got all new detailing. These are an all new tooled model. Definitely really up to spec. Interesting to see. We've got the original BR blue grey with the wraparound yellow ends. This for me, actually, I like this livery. We've got that sort of, still got the big wraparound yellow ends, but the intercity livery. $402.99. This is sound fitted. The uplift for having them fitted with sound is actually a really, really good price. So take away from me, the TXS fitted models are well worth the extra money, it has to be said, on the face of it, because that is for £30 for a sound decoder and speaker. We've got the EWS business train pack, RRP $299.99. The class 960, that's formerly the class 121, $96.99. And the Strathclyde PTE class 101 in the railroad range for $134.99. Again, good value. These are the former Lima toolings, I believe. Railroad Plus class 20. Let's see if we can... that's interesting. Lorem Rail, not what I'm familiar with. Yeah, Flyman Chairman 1 says, I was going to say the sets seem really good price. The Railroad Plus models, I'm going to have to ask Hornby for a closer look at some of these, because, see, look at that price, £76.99. That is well worth the money. I think the Railroad Plus range is very much on the money here for Hornby. I'm just going to check. Just give me... Right. So I've got... I haven't been sent the list from Hornby, it must be said. So let me just... right, that's fine. Railroad Plus is looking great value for money. Railroad Plus 37, could do with fixing those couplings, Hornby. If you fix those couplings, it'd go a long way to really make these models stand out. At the moment, that looks like it's those horrible goalpost couplings. 96.99 for a 37. Interested to see how good the Railroad Plus 37s have already. There's been some livery options on the market. Railroad Plus version of the Class 43. Now I'm looking at the wheel centres. These wheel centres really would benefit from a plastic insert to give the appropriate dished look of the actual Class 42 and 43 models. And I think it would be an easy addition to even if it was a user-fitted sprue with 8 of the wheel centres on. I think that it would go a real long way to lifting up the Railroad Plus models for not too much extra money. I mean, that is $89.99. Let's say add another tenner to the price, have a sprue of user-fitted, just push-fit wheel centres to give the appropriate look of those wheel centres and get rid of those goalpost couplings. Just fit it with NEM pockets and you've actually got a serious contender to the Bachmann model. Otherwise, other than the wheel centres and those couplings, that is actually really quite a good looking model. I didn't see Class 42 on the sound list for TXS. I don't know whether that's an omission or whether it's not available, but I think that would be a good option as well. But yeah, I think the Railroad Plus, we've got the 47 and the two-tone green. It does look alright, although Iron Horse Railway says, sadly, that 37 looks like it's on stilts. Southern Train Girl says, no, Hornby, I wanted the Intercity Executive livery, but DCC ready. Trains, kits, etc. says, psychologically, people who can't afford it make people who can afford it want it. Me not buying it and saying it costs too much makes someone else feel good buying it to be not like me. I wouldn't go that far. I'm not convinced myself. I mean, a lot of these prices, you know, yeah, I could afford some of them, but you know, when you're looking at £300 to £400 for a loco, even people with money start to ask themselves, do I really want it at that price? Angel Share Model Railways, great to see you, says the Class 101 looks great, remember them fondly. Iron Horse Railways, a lot of questions, I don't have the answers. It says, how does TXS work with regular DCC systems, or is it only compatible with a new controller? No, I think TXS is the replacement for TTS, which is distinct. Though, how would you put the sounds on them without Hornby's system? I'm going to have to compile a list of questions. Darren Faulkner, how do? Great to see you. Got Class 67. We've got Class 73, Railroad Plus, Class 121. There's a lot in this Railroad Plus range. Now, oh, that's an interesting livery. I would have thought that they would be in maroon, but that London Transport Green Sentinel, excuse me. So this is DL81. That is an interesting livery. Due out in May, not too long to wait. £108.99. Now these six-wheel Sentinels are a great model, so that's definitely another standout release. That's quite eye-catching in the yellow. Potter Logistics Sentinel, Pride of the Fens. So one for the more modern image modelers. Oh, Gronk it up. So we get GB Rail Freight number 4. This is at is it Cardiff Tidal. Whenever I go, whenever I'm working at Wolf Studios, where they film stuff like Doctor Who and that, I actually go past that and I see that locomotive from time to time. It does always stand out. We've also got the BR Green D-numbered version, but with the TXS sound. So let's have a look. Right, so it's £185.99 for a regular, but £263.99. So that's 60, 70, nearly 80 quid. So there's no consistency on the TXS sound installation, because it was an uplift of 30 quid on some and it's nearly 80 quid on others. Still want to see a BR blue tops numbered one. Still waiting. Another Class 56. We've got the triplex sound. Now the Class 56 has gone over to the 21 pin chassis. So does this mean the TXS is a 21 pin decoder? I don't know. So we've got some really nice solid Railroad Plus releases, it must be said. Right. New tooling, TTA tank wagon. So they have completely retooled the TTA. Will the market support it? At the right price it will. So we've got two liveries listed here of the TTA, SO and also the Shell livery. A third one at BP. RRP 34.99. Now this looks to be, it replaces the really old, I remember it in the 80s version. But is that different to the Bachmann version, which I have to say is not a bad model? Interesting choice of prototype for Hornby. So let's just have a proper look at the Streamlined B17 5. We did look at this before. Really interesting. I did not know that they did that kind of streamlining on it. It looks weird, like an abbreviated A4. Right, so we've got coach packs, Times coach pack. So we've got the Times coach. Interesting. Liverpool and Manchester Railway coach pack, Wellington Globe and Queen Adelaide's coach. So you can buy a coach pack for £99.99. Two more of these coaches plus Queen Adelaide's coach. Really interesting. Let's enlarge that. This I can see being quite a good seller. That is interesting. That looks like it's at the Railway Museum. I don't remember ever seeing that. That is definitely an interesting option. Although there it says RRP 99.99, price correction £119.99. They've breached the £100 mark. Business coach pack. And then we're also seeing the Gresley coaches reappearing, £66.99. They have gone up, but when you compare to what comparable coaches in the Bachmann range are doing, not too bad. Always a popular livery. I don't think we can't really get any bigger than that, but certainly nice to see. The only one that's missing is the sleeping car. I suspect that's more to do with the fact that the sleeping cars hung around. You can still find not one but two previous versions of the sleeping cars in this livery still available brand new from places like Hereford Model Centre. So it's good to see these reappear. It'll help reinvigorate the sales of those sleeping cars, I guess. Always a great livery. Looking forward to seeing what they look like in the flesh. Simon Trains Model Railway Showcase says, looks like the GB Rail Freight you see in Cardiff is number 2, not 4. I'm sure they've got 2 of them at Cardiff. Iron Horse Railway says £80 for that or £120 for a TTS. Considerations need to be made. Dave Tootle says the pricing will be even more of a factor in 2023, but it is inconsistent, even if there are some good deals here. I would agree with that. And yes, they really need to sort the couplers. I think sorting out couplers is an easy win for Hornby. They can turn what is a good model let down by the couplings into an all-over goodbye model. So things like the Class 20, the Class 73, the 37, the 47, the 121 as well, it has to be said, and that 42/43. Those models could be radically improved by ditching those horrible goalpost couplings and fitting NEM pockets that you can just put regular slimline tension locks or other couplings into. I think that would be an easy upgrade for Hornby and would massively increase sales of those models. Trains, kits, etc. says guessing with the couplers, they're aiming it at people who want new locos to work with their pre-NEM stuff. Just a guess, not ideal for everyone, but you can get goalpost couplings to fit NEM pockets, so it would then cater for everybody instead of a small part of the market. Beverage of choice is Monster. Excuse me. Mark III trailer coaches. So they'll be for going with HST. We're getting actually standard open coaches. Very thoughtful. They're doing 3 different livery versions. Oh, yeah. So these are $44.99 each, but there are 3 different running numbers available. I think this is great. There's always a problem with not enough coaches, the regular coaches, so it's great to see them doing, oh gosh, there's 4 different ones there, so you can make up a pretty decent range or trains with these, so that is good. $44.99, not too bad. Some good coaches there actually. Queen Adelaide's coach, really interested. New tooling, Salmon YMO wagon. So this is quite an interesting. Excuse me. So this is the LMS Salmon Bogey wagon. As opposed to at the moment, all we've really got is the much more generic Bachmann offering, which has been around since the days of Mainline. So it's nice to see that actual models of specific bogey bolsters are starting to come through. I think the Bachmann model is a BCO, but it has been dressed up in, I've seen it in LMS, I've seen it in GWR, I'm sure I've seen it in LNER livery as well. But this is an actual LMS Salmon, YMO. So only in the more recent period, I think they were rebuilt, which is why it's not suitable for the earlier guys. RRP 3849. Remember, these are RRPs. Angus's Train says, I hate it when Hornby do LMR coaches in a pack with a loco we already have. Well, they are doing the Queen Adelaide's coach pack, which is 2 more of the regular yellow and black coaches and Queen Adelaide's coach. So really, I think that works really quite well. New tooling, McCaw B, Bogey Bolster C. Oh, this is interesting. I didn't know about this. GWR, Bogey Bolster, McCaw B. So this is good, actually. Finally, we're getting a proper decent model of some of these different bogey bolster types. So we're getting it suitable for GWR and BR. That is going to be interesting, though no actual even CAD drawings. So let's go to the Wagon range. So there's the Salmon, the TTA, Bogey Bolster. We're also going to get in the Kapar Bogey Tippler Wagon. This is the Railroad range, $19.99. Won't break the bank. Iron Horse Railways, fish kinds is to do with telegraph codes. It was just easier to much easier to transmit on the telegraph. If you know, fish kind, you knew it was an engineer's wagon. Breezer 707 says, sadly nothing new for Southern. Trains, kits, etc. says, do you get Mother energy drink there? No, Monster. We get Monster. We also get a Bento that says they need to do some corridor LNER saloon coaches. We've got the SAA steel carrier railroad model. OAA, ZAA squid wagon, ZRA. These are all just re-liveries. Triple wagon packs, getting quite expensive. £60.49. Quite a range. I do like that Horton there. That with the replacement wooden planks. I do like that. Settle Speakman, Stoke. All of these are liveries that I don't remember seeing most of. Dennerby I've seen before. Newstead I've seen before. BW & Co I've seen before. Leicester Cooperative on a 5-plank. Not seen that. Some of these are identities not seen before. We're getting our budget crane compared to the All Singing All Dancing expensive Bachmann ones. They're less than half the price. Assorted plank wagons. So we've got the LMS 3-plank. We've also got, a couple of the 3 planks, I have to say, are some of the best pre-grouping era models on the market. It is the sleeper hit for me, is the 3-plank wagon from Hornby. 4-plank wagon, also good. So we're getting a 4-plank Brooks Limited. 5-plank, I'm afraid I don't rate. 7-plank, I also don't rate, but the 6-plank is good. 20.99, that's the RRP, so you will get that a bit cheaper. So there's some really good releases there tucked away. Railroad TEA, the Procore Palvan. I do wish they'd upgrade the couplings on some of these, it must be said. Oh, some of the prices, they're always going up, being revised up. We've also got the PGA hopper, again, could do with upgrade on the couplings. It was a nice wagon in its time. PVA van. This is the curtain side van. I don't believe it lasted very long. Very prone to having people stealing stuff from it. Again, Campbell's PVA. And then, oh, the Rudds. Oh, I like that. The Rudd in the engineering blue and grey. Can we get... There's... Oh, there is markings on it. It looks like it should have a tops code there. I'm not sure. That is an interesting livery. I do like that Rudd. $25.49. Not too badly priced. We've got the Rudd in Dutch, but with Transrail branding. This is a lovely wagon, I have to say. That is definitely one that is on the radar. I do like that. And then we've got the KFAs with containers. The Hornby 2023 wagon. I know there are people who do collect these. And that's not a bad base model. The 6-wheel milk tank is actually one of the better models that could be on. So that is actually quite a good one. $20.99, not too bad a price. And the obligatory Christmas wagon as well. And the roadshow wagon. Are they doing roadshows? Surely if it's a roadshow wagon, they should be selling those at their roadshow. So some solid releases there, it has to be said. Now, let's have a look at Scaledale. So, oh, good, a bridge. I've just got line drawings, but these are always useful. I love my bridges. $17.99. Is this going to be a resin model? No further information, it has to be said. But if that is a resin model, at $17.99, that is a standout for me. That is well worth the money. Oh, thank you so much. Simon on Trains Model Railway Showcase has very generously donated £5 on the Super Chat and says, start on the Rudd Fund. Great stream. Thank you so much. We got off to a shaky start, it must be said. We're beset by technical difficulties, but we have smoothed that out. I don't think my potty mouth came into play, but certainly it got fraught. Cupboard Monkey and I didn't get much sleep last night, so that's probably why we're a bit on edge. But thank you so much for your generosity, Simon Trains Model Railway Showcase. GWR Buckley Junction says, I'm DC and sticking to it. There are a lot of people who do. Sarah Davis is getting onto the Bluetooth decoders now. Do we know if these chips will work with existing models or will we need new models too? I believe that they just plug into your standard DCC socket. The question comes with controlling it. Do you need their H&M 7000 kit, or do you need or will it work with, say, if you've got an NCE or otherwise? Trains, kits, etc. says Paint one yellow to get yourself an amber rud. And thank you so much, Flymo Chairman 1, who's very, very generously donated £5 on the super chat and says, yes, for the next loco. Woohoo! It's probably going to be a puggy poo, actually. I'm faced with a dilemma, actually, on that, because it is a model that I will buy come what may. So does that make it morally acceptable to put down on the list of requesting review models, to put it down if it's a model that I would have bought anyway? Question for another day, but look, thank you so much. Sarah Davis says, I think the controller will need to run on Bluetooth too. I wondered whether it was compatible with, say, like if you had a smartphone, in much the same way that your smartphone will connect to any hands-free devices or like speakers and stuff. I'm sort of sliding off the camera there, so I'll move over this way a bit. So I thought it was going to be compatible with like an app on your smartphone. So we're getting some. These are actually not too badly priced. Chinna Signal Box, GWR Dunster Goodshed and Dunster Engine Shed. Always like a signal box. Chinna Signal Box. We've just got concept line drawings of these, but certainly we're looking at October for these coming through, so later on in the year. Solid releases, I guess. Let's go and find those Bluetooth. Where's it gone? Bluetooth decoders. Bluetooth decoders and control system. Let's see what we can have. So this is superseding Hornby's HM6000. Sound, triplex sound, non-sound Bluetooth decoders, and stay alives are so the stay alives, I didn't spot that before. So this is an all new, and it says that with accessories to integrate with existing DCC systems. So that suggests that, so we've got 8-pin decoder, next 18 and 21 pin. Interesting. So Bluetooth sound decoders. Let's see if we can make this bigger. A very distinctive design. I do like that white circuit board, very crisp and clean. So hey, stop the press. Simon, you genius. You absolute 100% 42 carat genius. Sound decoders for next 18, as well as 8-pin and 21-pin. TXS triplex. This is actually, I've only just had a really good close look at this. That next 18 sound decoder is saying quite a lot to me. This is a major development. Do we have prices on this? This is stop the press. This is really impressive. So have we got a price on these? So right, so we'll just plug in on the speakers. I like that. But this is the thing I'm not sure at. The customer buys the blank sound decoder and downloads and installs the appropriate sound files to the decoder. How? This suggests you can only use the sound decoders, or at least only put the sound decoders on using the HM7000. Flymo Channel 1 says DCC Bluetooth decoder detects DC or DCC. Iron Horse Railways, absolutely. These decoders have a big potential. Hopefully they run the locos well enough, but they do, and they're going to be in demand. I think these, you're going to have to order these. Sarah Davis says, Cynical Me says, yes, they can sell you a new controller, but Optimistic Me hopes it can work with existing and new controllers. But you might need to use a Bluetooth device to change settings. Angus's Trains, yeah, I'm surprised on the Deltic. The DP1, there's a Bachmann model that's been released so many times in conjunction with the Railway Museum. I would have thought that things were quite saturated. Right, full Bluetooth wireless control via app-based control interface. Now, does that mean you use that on a smartphone? I don't know. sound decoders have 3 sound channels, so that's why it's TXS. TTS is only 2, so you can have the chuff sound and the whistle, but you can't have a third sound. This would allow you to actually have, say, like the Westinghouse air pump, a whistle, and the chuffing all playing at the same time. So this is definitely a good improvement. A lot of let's have a look. Creep mode. So there's a lot of functions on this. This is actually quite a nice spec decoder. Non-sound versions also include as well. We've got 21-pin, next 18, 8-pin, and also the 6-pin. So there's no sound on 6-pin, but that next 18 sound is impressive. We can also there's a power bank that plugs in. So this is definitely for me a standout design. So a Stay Alive you just plug in. This is like the DCC Concept plug-in Stay Alives, which I love because I know a lot of people don't like soldering. Really interesting. Sam Yates says Zemo and ESU make next 18 sound decoders. Yeah, there's quite a few. Dulett and Haas make a really good one as well. Probably others too. Yeah. I'm trying to think who else. Dulett and Haas I've used a lot. They're quite a good sound decoder. Certainly a lot better price than the Zemo and ESU. I get them for I think they're about £85 with the sound file loaded onto them. So quite a saving for Dulett and Haas. But this is interesting. Provides up to 9 seconds of power. That's probably a bit excessive, but I'd be interested to see the size on these, how well they actually fit into models. Good morning to Taff. Taff's End. Good morning. Sorry I'm late. Gandalf's still in bed. Iron Horse Railway says that looks like it's the same socket as the speaker. Is it a case of either or? It's not clear on this. We're looking in the main at concept art, I think. I'm going to compile a list of questions and I will fire them off to Hornby. Right. Now, what is this? Bluetooth Legacy Dongle. Can we make this bigger? Let's have a look. I've got to take... Control previous non-Bluetooth DCC decoders and digitally fitted accessories with a DCC app control. Not clear what's going on with these. I'm going to ask for full information on these. I think that the Bluetooth stuff, this is really interesting. I need to see more information. But definitely we're looking at a paradigm shift in DCC. Right, RRP on these. What have we got? It says they're available. RRP from $6.49 to $64.99. So what's $6.49? This answers your question, Iron Horse Railways. Power bank and speaker, 2 separate sockets. So this is actually really good. It means you can add, for the first time, just plug in a Stay Alive into a sound decoder. Oh, hold on. Apparently it's in the last 10 minutes of the Hornby video. Yeah, but I'm not watching that at the moment, am I? This is power banks. Hey, £6.49 for the power bank. That is an incredibly good price. That, look, and so we're looking at £40 for the Bluetooth decoder. That's not too bad. 6-pin, £31.99. Bluetooth and DCC sound decoder, $64. This is actually a really good system. I have to say, this is definitely one of the standout Simon Kohler, you absolute genius moments. Let's have a look at this. So, Is that actually like a smartphone app or something else? That looks like it's trying to be a smartphone, but I'm not sure. I'm absolutely not sure. So, let's have a look. Right. Bluetooth app. This is really interesting. What are we? Look, let's see. So you can run it, it seems, on DC. This picture is suggesting to me that you can, on your standard DC, you can control the decoder on DC from a smartphone app and control your trains remotely. This is definitely a paradigm shift. I'm really impressed with this. Now, this is the information we needed. This looks to be fully compatible with other controllers. So, this is really interesting. Because basically you're communicating directly with the controller, with the decoder. The decoder is going to take its power from the track. So as long as you've got DCC track power, this should work with the app. I'm assuming that this thing down here, I'm going to circle it with the mouse, is that representing a smartphone running the app. This is, let's have a look. Yeah, I will watch the Hornby video later on. Yeah, Iron Horse Rail is 65 quid for a sound decoder. It all depends on how you upload the sounds to it. Smartphone app is free, so it is a smartphone app. It is a smartphone, tablet, or other Bluetooth device. So you might be able to Bluetooth the sounds to the chip. That is an interesting point. I know you can transfer files over Bluetooth, so yeah. I think that this, for me, is an amazing standout. Individual loco control with the Bluetooth stuff on DC. Yes, on the face of it, we're looking at all the benefits of, well, a lot of the benefits of DCC to DC users. Sarah Davis says, as I understand it, the Bluetooth controller can control all the Bluetooth trains and the non-Bluetooth trains when plugged into a regular DCC controller using the legacy dongle. Flower Chair One says, was watching a guy controlling his layout using the name that shall not be mentioned because everybody's smart thingy will perk up and go, oh, I'm being talked to. This, for me, is incredible. The more I see of this Bluetooth this is actually really, really good. So, this is interesting. Really interesting. I'm gonna definitely find out a lot of information. And this is David. It's my model railway. Yes, I saw that. Sound files can be rewritten over and over. I like this. I like this a lot. This for me, Simon Coley, you utter genius. Not to say that he doesn't sit there and design everything himself, but Hornby, genius. This is wow. I'm actually really, the more I see on this for me is incredible. Welcome back, Alex Dent. We're just looking at, let's have a look now. Right, so HM7070's power bank, $15.99. Said $6.49 somewhere further up. Reverse loop module, $35.99. This is exciting. I'm sorry, this is definitely the singularly most impressive release of all of these. And yes, I was very impressed by the Puggy Poo in that St. Helens Glass livery. But this, oh my word, I now see what soundtracks we're getting so excited by. It's been released in the US. So Balloon Army in the US from Soundtracks, if any of our US viewers are looking and going, I'm sure I've seen something about this before, do check that out. But it looks like we've got this in the UK. This is actually incredible. Lee D. Holden says it's similar to how Zemo chips with sound still work on DC. ESU do it as well. However, using Bluetooth to give full control on DC and be able to have a low level of power to stop the sound studding, this is really good. Iron Horse Railway says if this is compatible with their TT range, then Hornby just might have made a home run here. Well, it will be, because most of the locomotives in the TT range are Next 18 decoder sockets, and they've got Next 18. Mr. Matthews, I'm not entirely sure whether it'll plug into a lens. Wangok, no, four S&D locos. Look at you've got two different Ginties, and you've got a 4F and a 2P. You've got 4 S&D locos. David, it's my model railway, says plug the dongle into your DCC controller to control both from Bluetooth or DCC. I wonder if that'll work plugged into the alpha panel from DCC Concepts that I've got on my system. This is definitely worth having a really good play with. Sarah Davis says, I think they'll have made it as compatible with many other DCC control systems as possible. Really, and this is definitely the huge standout. We've got a paradigm shift here, people, in control. This is DCC going into a new era. I'm actually a little bit blown away here. I knew that they were doing a Bluetooth system. I saw the leaks, but not as in-depth as we're seeing here now. And quite frankly, this is definitely something that I think, being able to control from your smartphone, yes, we've been able to do that before, but being able to, on the face of it, it would appear, change the sound files at will from your smartphone, this is incredible. The fact that it's also fully compatible with a regular DCC, it appears. So you don't, it's not like 0-1 where it's one or the other. And the fact that you can run these and control them via Bluetooth but on DC, I think that is going to be the killer app for these. That is something that certainly you're going to see DC modelers starting to dabble with what DCC can offer. And, maybe actually finding this is good. I like the fact as well that things just plug in. That's something that DCC Concepts brought to the market, and it really did make a big difference. I do wonder, actually, we've got a QR code there. Let's make it big. What happens if I tell my phone to... So I can actually do that. So hmportal.io. Yeah, HMDC. It's an app. You can just download it. So if you scan the QR code that's on your screen, it will actually, if you've got a QR code reader, it takes you to the App Store and it's there. So app-based analog control. From now on, there is no need for the controller to be tethered to the track because by using Bluetooth low-energy technology, Hornby's HM6000 control system can operate a DC layout with consumer at ease. I'm just looking, right. Uses Bluetooth low energy and Bluetooth mesh network architecture. It provides a stable and responsive system that becomes increasingly efficient the more a model layout develops. The AMP-based system is built around two pieces of hardware which form the key elements of the setup, and these are the HM6000 app circuit controller. Is that what's on the smartphone? And the HM6010 app operating accessory unit. The HM6000 is paired with a HMDC application on a smartphone or tablet and provides control of up to 2 circuits independent of each other. Up to 4 HM6000 units can be linked to the application, which consequently provides control of 8 independent circuits via one device, be it a smartphone or tablet. So this is... You can also control accessories on this. So like point controllers, that kind of thing. Integrated into the HMDC application is a very useful function that provides the facility to plan and build numerous layouts, whilst at the same time listing the components required as the virtual layout takes shape. This is actually... Let's have a look. This is some interesting information available on the App Store as well, it has to be said. So really, really interesting. Iron Horse Rail says, oh, it's using DMC. It's very clever. This is a paradigm shift. So you saw it here first. We have a huge paradigm shift in DCC control. Yeah. The plug-in power banks and speakers alone would have been like, these are great. The downloadable and you just write the sound files to it over and over again. That removes the problem of shops having huge numbers of class 43 sound decoders in TTS, but none of the others. And it's like, but I want a J36 or a class 08. Oh, nope, they've not done them for ages. This really does streamline the supply issue. Basically, if the TXS decoder is available, then all the sounds are available and you just pick which one you want. The sound library is much increased. We've got things like the class 73, the class 71, the class 87. This is definitely... Have we got a date on these? So, I'm just looking, if you're going, why is it spinning past so quick? I'm looking for... It says available. Availability, available. It's out now. I know the app is. This is, guys, this for me, it really is the standout. Right, let's recap some of those steam locomotives. The B17.5 in Streamlined, look at that, it's an A4. That really is something of beauty to behold. Yeah, Iron Horse Rails, plug in your power banks, inspired by DCC concepts. Timber Surf says, I presume the sound files are free. I suspect that they're formatted up for that decoder. And I don't think you would be able to... Basically, you can download them for free, it would appear, and upload them to that decoder. I don't think you'll be able to use them in other decoders. They will have some kind of copy protection, I guess. But on the face of it, TXS sound decoders, just keep chopping and changing as you desire. Right, we've got the Beatles. Always a good IP. 109.99. Yeah, for a Beatles fan maybe, but not for me. I have to say, but yeah, it's all right. Trying Remembered Caledonian Single Train Pack Era 2. That is serious nostalgia for a lot of people. 149.99 is not too bad for that. It really has to be said. I think that will go down well. It's a shame that the Caledonian single, we're not getting an updated version. Now this, the Liverpool and Manchester Railway number 58 Tiger train pack. I really, really think that this, the Lion, I wasn't convinced, but this, actually, I do like it. I like we're getting more of this Era 1 stuff. Definitely these slightly later Era 1 prototypes are much easier to do in model form, much more reliable. The problem with things like the Rocket is it's very, very small, very, very fiddly, easy to break, unreliable in operation because you just can't pull that much. This is definitely something that is a much more reliable model. So I do like this. I would put this down as being potentially quite a big seller. Do get your order in if this is what something that tickles you. Call me Snake. So spring 2023 for the Decoder. Sorry, I've got to say, call me Snake, in that kind of sultry whispering growl that Snake Plissken says. Patrick Ling says yes, it's a smartphone app for the Bluetooth. That Bluetooth is definitely the standout. Right. Oh, I'm getting cramp in my arm. Right, so we're getting the Rocket Train Pack with Queen Adelaide's coach. That looks different to the one that we saw. Is that actually Queen Adelaide's coach? It doesn't say. That's a different coach to the Queen Adelaide's one that we saw in the photograph. Certainly, we're also getting a coach pack, which is just, imagine, forget about the locomotive, just the two yellow and black coaches, plus the Queen Adelaide's coach, which I think will appeal to more people. Let's have a look. Right. Now, somebody was saying about the Somerset and Dorset Joint Railway. We've got these two. They are railroad models. So we've got number 20 and number 25. We've got 20 in the Prussian blue, 25 in the black livery. $79.99, not too bad a price. Angus's Train says that is not Queen Adelaide's coach. So actually, if you want that coach, you've got to get that train back. I know exactly where you're coming from on this, Angus. I myself as well. It's like I've already got a Rocket. I didn't get the one with the mail coach because I didn't want the Rocket or the other two coaches. I just wanted the mail coach. A very expensive way of getting it. And Hornby have done it again for that coach. What would be nice would be a triple pack of the mail coach, Queen Adelaide's coach, and that other coach we saw. Yeah, Angus is strange. The Queen Adelaide coach is in the other pack. So that's something else. Interesting. And Angus is strange says, how many of the LNMR first class coaches has Hornby made? I don't know how many there were. As far as I'm aware, they each have a different identity, like Times, Dispatch, Huskinson. There were quite a lot of them. But I don't know how many or what names they were. That information is a bit sketchy to find. Yeah, the mail coach. I would love the mail coach, the Queen Adelaide's coach, and that other coach we saw. I'd like those three offered in a train pack on their own. Please, please, please. And I think that would sell very well. And a lot of people like me, like you, already got the Rocket. We don't want another Rocket. It's not rocket science. So, this, I think, to be honest, a lot of people go, "Ooh, that's an old model. Why don't they just retool it?" I think that, Hornby are well aware that their Hattons have a more up-to-date 14XX tooling that was done for them by DJM, not without its faults. So they know that a spoiler could happen. If they put a lot of money into retooling this, it could be all down the pan. But this is now in the Railroad Plus range at a reasonable price, so sweating the assets. Wasn't too bad a model, actually, in its time. Lee D. Holden says, I picked up the Railroad Blue Ginty at Blackburn Model Rail Show 2022, new old stock, £15. And Angus is trying to say, I think I must have the whole set of LNMR first. Excuse me. I'm not sure how many there were. I suspect that the Liverpool and Manchester Railway actually had quite a few. As to how many and what their names were, I don't know. This, I think, will do reasonably well. I'd like to see what the model's like when it turns up. Big 4 Centenary locos. So we've got the A1, we've got the Castle. These are all at $208.99. N15, this actually, beautiful, beautiful locomotive. I do love the N15, and that Mansell olive green really does look lovely. There's a lot of these available October. I'm seeing October over and over again. Also, would like to say a big thank you to RM Web for actually having pictures available that I can access. So if you're wondering, yes, I'm looking at these on RM Web. Right, LMS Fowler 4P. I think this was retooled comparatively recently. That does look a reasonable model. $208.99. Now, this I don't get. Normally, a tank locomotive like this would be less than a tender loco, but this is being offered at the same price as the Castle and the same price as the A1. And I just find that a little bit odd on the pricing structure. We're not talking about the actual price, but in terms of the pricing structure. So that I find a little bit peculiar. The Mallard, the suggestion is this is a Hornby 00 range one, and certainly the price points to that. But it would be nice. There's no information on this particular picture to actually confirm or deny if this is a railroad one. No, it's not railroad. Hornby 00, I meant. I would assume it's Hornby 00, but waiting to see. And then we've got, these are, see, Hornby 00, it's got Hornby 00 on. I do like the boxes. Let's take a look. The box with the green, but with the Hornby 00 branding on. They are straying a bit from what Hornby 00 boxes actually looked like. They were blue, plain blue, and then later blue and white candy striped, and then the two rail were red and white candy striped. Timbersurf says that £440 sound fitted. Yeah, it's getting to be an expensive hobby. So we've got the A1, Flying Scotsman, different versions. Alan Pegler. And then this is the one that went across Australia. So we've got the cowcatcher on the front and the big headlight and the double tenders. $379.99. This is available in April. That's actually quite a nice version. Such a balmy idea to take that thing to Australia and run it across the country. What was that about? So then we've got the 10-year... It's been 10 years already. Great Gathering Anniversary. So these are Hornby 00 versions. So that's what's different. And yeah, you see there, $320.99. That does put credence to that Mallard being a the separate one being basically this model. Simon Trains Mother Railway Showcase says that's the one when it went to the USA. Yeah, it did USA. It also did Australia on the same trip, and it bankrupted Alan Pegler. Angus's Train says, that Trains guy was inspired by Hornby and leaked correctly some locos down to the T in a thumbnail. Yeah, some YouTubers have been leaking this like a sieve. And I have to say, people wonder why manufacturers don't work with certain YouTubers. It's because they can't be trusted with the information. So I am aware that some YouTubers, even thinking they're getting away with it in the thumbnail, no, we noticed that you were leaking stuff. But even though I knew about the leak and could have talked about them last night at the Monday Club, I didn't, because technically still subject to an embargo, and if I break the embargo, it's not just Hornby that would not give me press releases and stuff, but the other manufacturers, they're not stupid. They would also say, well, you know, you can't be trusted on that, so why should we trust you with our information? Angus's Train says, I think Hornby were inspired by Hornby 00 boxes and created new ones. LOL, hint, hint. I think Hornby 00 has actually become synonymous with a higher quality, so that effectively Hornby have now got Railroad, Railroad Plus, Main Range, but then as a premium range, Hornby 00, and they're die-cast metal bodies. So actually, I think it's a very, very clever use of the IP of Hornby 00 with that logo. It's lovely to see it reappear. That is my childhood, after all, Hornby 00. And I think for the premium brand, it is a perfect branding. So, you know, Hornby have got the IP, use it. And I think it's very well used in this case. I know some people have said, oh, well, that Hornby 00 never did that. It's like, yeah, but it's not about that. It's Hornby 00 branding of a premium product. Right, so we've got all of these different... Simon Trent's Mother Railway Showcase says, Australia was in the late 80s for Scotsman, went bankrupt whilst in the States. I'm sure it was on the same trip. They did Australia coast to coast, then it was shipped to America to go coast to coast, and they ran out of money whilst it was over there. So these are all Hornby 00s, $320.99. None of these are liveries that haven't already appeared recently. I know none of these. I've even got Sir Nigel Gresley in that livery. This for me, coming to a weir yard near you. This is, I claim full credit for this. I sent Simon Kohler the photograph of the pug in this livery in February last year, saying, wouldn't this be a great livery option for the LMY pug in the future? As far as I knew, and I stand by it, it had never been released ready to run either by Hornby or the previous owners of the tooling Dapol. It's an obvious choice, very eye-catching, very different from the usual BR fare, and I think that this will sell quite well for a little industrial locomotive, and it is actually historically accurate. This was the real locomotive was Lancashire and Yorkshire number 19. It's the locomotive that is preserved. Well, one of the two. 51218 was preserved. This one actually survived into preservation, even though it was sold, but I think it was the LMS who sold it into industrial use, and she survived long enough to actually outlive her sisters, who lasted right through in BR ownership. I think 51232 and 51253 were two of the last four that were withdrawn. So 51218, 51232 and 51253 were three of the last four pugs in BR service. Mega Man Muppet, no, Steampunk is gone, done, dusted. I don't think they're going to be revisiting that range. Wamgot, yeah, I know they are the Great Gathering A4s, but just now in the Hornby 00 range. And within Model Railway, yeah, they are the liveries as they are preserved. Dave Tootle says, looks like anyone starting in sound for their Model Railway should go to Hornby. Absolutely, there's some great options there. What I want to see is how well they work in non-Hornby locomotives. That Next 18 decoder, for a start, is definitely one which I could see a lot of uses for in so many locomotives coming out in with Next 18 sockets. But not just that, there's a lot of N-gauge models. So will it work in, you know, like Rapido models or Graham Farish models? The Next 18 also work for TT. Hopefully we are going to be reviewing the forthcoming Easterner set here on the channel in TT. So actually it might be a really great opportunity to see just how well that works. Big hello to Mel's. Good day to you. Great to see you in. And I want to see how well it integrates into an existing system that is not Hornby based. So watch this space on that. But this definitely, love a little puggy poo, and I do love that livery. I understand why LMS and BR versions have not been released. They're still in stock at Hornby with the previous guises. I think it's 51207 in BR, and there's an LMS one as well. But might have been nice to see a Lancashire and Yorkshire liveried version too. To the best of my knowledge, it's only ever been issued once in Lancashire and Yorkshire Railway fully lined livery, and that was way back in late 80s, early 90s by Daypol. I do actually have that version, but it would be nice to have another version now that pre-grouping really has become a much more major thing in the hobby. Speaking of which, this Somerset and Dorset Joint Railway Class 4F looks interesting. I'm looking forward to seeing which version of the tooling this is. Now, you can just see sprockets under there. Spacely sprockets. Let's have a look. What we've got here, there is a wire from tender to loco. Is this tender drive, in which case, boo, hiss, or is this loco drive, in which case, woo? Difficult to tell on the couplings whether they're slimlines. They look like slimlines. So this potentially could be a really interesting loco. We'll look out for it. Certainly the artwork here does look good. There's a lot of detail on this loco, which does put credence to it being a more modern tooled model. $139.99, really, really great price. December 2023, though, we're going to have to wait for that. So that one is one to look out for. This one, again, is this tender drive. We're seeing those sprockets underneath there. I don't know whether it is or not. Edward Vincent Briones says, I like the Prussian blue livery. It really is a lovely livery. Always popular, actually, so it's good choices. Now, this is another one. I think this is going to prove very, very popular. The BR Class J36 in the Doncaster apple green, but British Railways on the tender. $164.99 is not too bad. On price, I have to say, that as well. If Jenny had to do her top picks, I would say this is definitely their top 5 releases. Number 1, definitely the entire Bluetooth range. Absolutely amazing. It's really annoying. The Bluetooth range is a definite wholehearted first place. Second place for me is definitely the little Puggy Poo. Third place, I'd put this. I think that this is really, really great. Such an eye-catching livery. I do like that green. And yeah, Wangok, prices for all. The pricing structure seems a bit peculiar because there seems to be a few discrepancies. Where you look at the uplift for the sound version, on some models it's just £30. On other models, it's closer to 80. So I don't know what's going on there. And we've got a Fowler tank for $208.99, which is the same price as they're doing the Castle locomotive as well. Was it Caerphilly Castle? So a few anomalies in the pricing structure. But that is definitely one which I'll be keeping my eye out for this, actually. It must be said. So we've got Caerphilly Castle there. The Castle locomotives from Hornby are pretty good. Recently tooled, certainly within the last 10 years. And actually pretty good. I'd love to see Denbigh Castle, Cardiff Castle, Bristol Castle, and Ludlow Castle. Those 4 get released, I must admit. Really good model, I have to say. If you're wanting a castle, you could do no worse than these. Certainly the Hornby models are really good. We've got another unrebuilt Merchant Navy as United States Lines. Now this is an interesting livery. I've not seen this specific version before. And this is basically debranded Southern Railway Malachite Green with application of the BR number. So this is actually really early. It doesn't even have British Railways spelt out on the tender. It's quite a clean livery. I quite like it, and this will definitely appeal to a lot of people. $203.49, so £5.50 less than the Castle. That's weird amount. But this is a great model, actually. Both the rebuilt and unrebuilt Merchant Navy class and also the West Country class are outwardly quite similar. Really lovely locomotives. I have to say, if you haven't got one in your collection, you do need to get one. Now, the 8F is a bit peculiar. Now, there's a little question mark on whether is this new tooling or old tooling. Don't put too much stock in the livery renders that you see on your screen, because quite often they will use existing photos of existing models and then kind of Photoshop the new livery onto them. So they're not necessarily resplendent of what the model will look like when it comes through. But certainly two problem areas for me on the Hornby 8F. The front bogie is very clunky. Quite easy to fix that with a new moulding just for that part. Definitely doable at probably a more affordable price. That, if they fixed it, that front bogie, and also provided us with a NEM coupling pocket, although that is perhaps a little bit more minor of an issue, but certainly easy enough to fix, I would guess. But the price is a bit peculiar. See, this is what I mean about inconsistencies on the pricing structure, because we've got $208.99 seems to be a price point for a lot of the tender locos, but then we've got $249.99, so like 49, so £41 more expensive for the 8F. I'm not sure where the pricing structure comes from on that. It just seems, I would have thought this would be at the $208.99 mark. And this one, I'm sorry, but Hornby, please superimpose the 5 and the 1, and then you'd have 48158, which was the Hornby 00 8F. Please, please, it would really play to nostalgia. A lot of these models we're not going to see until it's saying October. Tim Maslin says, anything really interesting on the release? Yeah, we're talking about the Bluetooth decoders. That is definitely standouts for me. Angus's Train says the 8F is the same tooling. And that's what I mean. It's like there's inconsistencies in the pricing structure, which is a little bit peculiar. Now, maybe the 8F was tooled up 15 or so years ago, maybe even longer than that. And it's just very expensive to put together because of the labour involved. I don't know. Graham Muzz says United States lines in malachite green with wedge-shaped cab. Gilson's BR numerals is carried between March 1949 and January 1951. It's definitely a beautiful locomotive. And Graham Muzz has also confirmed that the 8F is the previous tooling. So I can only conclude that the additional price on the 8F over, say, the Castle classes of about £41 uplift is because it's very labour intensive to assemble the models. Tim Maslin, yes, Bluetooth decoders, there is an app for your phone and you can actually download the sound files. The decoders come blank and you just upload the sound file you want onto it. And there is a great range, including, for the first time, Class 73, Class 71, Class 87. Those were 3 standouts for me. Angus's Trains is ordering Tiger and Queen Adelaide. Absolutely. They do look good. So I think if they change that running number to 48158, so just the 5 and the 1, turn them the other way round, rest of the livery, absolutely fine, Lake Crest, fine, then that would be the Hornby 00 8F, 48158. I've got one in the cabinet in the back. That is nostalgia being given an ego massage, and you'll get a lot more sales just by that change of running number, believe me. We've got 2 new versions of the 9F. Now this version, right, RRP 252.99 for non-sound and 282.99 for the TXS triplex sound fitted. Now, this is what I mean again, the inconsistencies in the pricing structure. That's only a £30 uplift. I mean, for that, it would be rude not to go for the sound version. But on the Class 08, it's nearly £80 uplift for the sound version. Angus's train says, I'm building a new railway considering a pioneer railway. Absolutely, we're getting some really interesting stuff. If you look at, is it Fleischmann? One of the German manufacturers actually produced a pioneer era train set for the German market. I believe there's also a US one for the Baltimore and Ohio. They've been out for in the past a while ago, but certainly there are some pioneering stuff available out there. Tim Maslin says, oh, that's really cool. I have the Z21 control system, so if it works half as well as that, it'll be really impressive. I like the feature. Please tell me it's not a fortune. Potentially not. We'll go and take another look in a moment. I'm just going to have a look. We've got Harvester, diecast footplate, flickering firebox, the Class A3 here. Right. Oh, we've... Ah, right. Oh. The Fowler 4P is actually $218.99. See, again, inconsistencies. So, the Fowler 4P is the same price as the Castle and the A1 and the King Arthur. But, so hold on. Caldegat Castle is $218.99, but Caerphilly Castle is $208.99. And then they change it again. So which one is it? Our 30271 is either $189.99 or $208.99 or $218.99, depending on where you look. So that is very interesting. Let's go and have a look again at the Bluetooth. For me, Bluetooth decoders and control system, this is the standout. So we've got all new triplex sound announced, and as you can see here, 3 different interfaces. So 8-pin, just like the TTS was, but we've also got Next 18 and we've got 21-pin. And I think that this is a major development because we're basically going to get budget sound decoders suitable for a vast range of locomotives, including Next 18 fitted for the first time. And that means that conceivably, N-gauge models, certainly TT models, excuse me, we've got a sound decoder for them and not too badly priced. Just Some Northerner says R30271 is showing $189.99 on the website. Yeah, I think that so the $189.99 appears to be the proper one. Angus is strange. Jenny, you are aware Australia and America's Scotsman tour were separate and different owners. Apparently I wasn't aware. I know that the American tour bankrupted. I thought it was Simon Pegler. I could be wrong. I know that Sir Robert McAlpine was involved at some point as well. Mousehole Rail said, hope you get better soon, Tim Mason. I'm happy. So I got an email from a Curascout that my Caledonian Mark V's are going to be with me this week. Graham Muzz says all the 4 grouping anniversary limited edition models are the same price. They're 500 of each. Oh, so which price is it for the R30271? I've got an addendum that says $189.99, an addendum that says I've got 3 different prices from Hornby for that. Angus is trying to say the American backer Alan McAlpine. I thought Robert McAlpine. Alan is Alan Pegler and Robert McAlpine. Oh, interesting. Mac Navi says that Next 18 decoder is quite big. It will not fit many N-gauge models. That is interesting. Interesting information there. I think what I need to do is get one and just see what it will and won't fit. Angus's Train says the one Hornby doing is the USA version. Iron Horse Railway says the 8, 18 and 21 pin sound chips, just to clarify, do all have stay alive options. I think so. Again, it's information is sketchy here at the moment. I will try and see. The sound ones obviously all have the plug-in speaker option, and just to anybody who's wondering about the sound download options, let's just take a look at these. A lot of these, excuse me, were available with the TTS. Although, where's the J36? We seem to have lost some of the TTS options. So, like J36, where is it? Princess Corin. Oh, yeah, we do have the Princess. There, I see it. What about the Duchess? Do we have the Castle? Is it the Castle? I don't see the Castle class on that list. There may be more, but that's our list. So, highlights for me. Class 71, you see there's SD014. Class 73, SD006. And Class 87, SD028. Also the 4VEP I've just seen above, SD027. Just looking up there. Definitely some interesting with Turbomotive as well, SD031. Angus's Train says, sorry, America Tour bankrupted Alan Pegler. Yeah, I knew somebody ran out of money. Right, so let's have a look at the specs again. Full Bluetooth wireless control via app-based control interface. So the app, I've confirmed, it's on your smartphone, which I think is great, using what most people already have. And presumably it means that multiple people with multiple smartphones can control multiple locomotives at the same time. It'd be interesting to see or whether they conflict with each other. Sound decoders, 3 sound channels. That's an upgrade from the 2 sound channels. Tim Maslin says, is there a link to a full list of what's been released? We're using RM Web, but there should be a full list on the Hornby site as well. Steam locomotives have wheel slip feature, alt-device, creep mode, manual braking. So we've got extra features over and above what TTS gave us. We've also got these are non-sound, and if you're wondering about the little plug there, don't see it on that one. There's a plug there, plug there. They're for the power banks, aka stay alives. John Davis says, morning Jenny, going off topic, did anyone see the Hornby programme on yesterday was replaced by World at War? Yeah, basically they decided they couldn't compete with the Monday Club, so for editorial reasons they didn't want to lose the huge audience that the Monday Club pulls in. They have pulled from that. I don't know, they said editorial reasons. Non-sound Bluetooth decoders. This too, power bank edition. Again, we've got 2 different prices listed for the power bank, which is weird. So we're fine. Right, let's have a look. So here, R7377 power bank available £6.49, but elsewhere it says £15.99. So I don't think that some of these prices are 100% accurate at the moment. And these just plug into any of the decoders. You can see here also the sound decoders. This is a paradigm shift. Plug in a stay alive with a sound decoder. No soldering needed. Just some Northerner says US Tour bankrupted Alan Pegler as the funding was removed when government changed. Bill McAlpine rescued her by paying off creditors. Scotsman's Aussies tour should have originally been Mallard, but the NRM refused. Yeah, too right. Wiven Model Rail says the Hornby site has now been updated. Mr. Matthews, the app does appear to be live now. I did check with the QR reader, and it does appear to be there. So we've got so this appears to be, you can effectively run a DCC system quite cheaply. So power supply bundle $59.99. I presume that puts your power to your track. Bluetooth legacy dongle. Not clear on how all this goes together, but certainly right. Sound decoder $69.99. That is an amazing price. It appears that the sound downloads don't cost any extra, but I would suspect that you can only use them with this system. Now, the QR code you're seeing on your screen, I'm tapping the screen, but of course you can't see that. If you scan that, it takes you to the App Store, and you can download the app. And it does include quite a few features like layout planning as well. You can run DC as well. You can upgrade your DC system with this as well, which is quite interesting. Some really interesting options here. DCC, this is really interesting. It appears that it's entirely app-based. You just put the power to the track, so you've got track power, but no DCC control bus on the track, and you're controlling the decoder via the app, and it's just merely taking the power from the track. It looks to be a really great system. Right, so Gamehammer Classic Gaming asks, so what's new in Gronking? Not a lot, unfortunately. Wamgok says, I'm a little worried. I have locos on order with sound. Will they be Bluetooth? And if so, will I need to buy a new controller? It does not appear that you need to buy a new controller, so don't worry about that. Tim Maslin says, hopefully each sound file isn't expensive. I'm not sure that they cost anything. It's just they'll only be compatible with these decoders. Tim Maslin reckons £200 seems to be about what you'll pay for all the kit. And yes, Gamehammer Classic Gaming, the sound downloads will be switchable. So you can overwrite the sound on the decoder to your heart's content. As far as I can tell, you can do that from the app. So you download the sound and you'll upgrade it via the app over Bluetooth, it would seem. Within Model Railway, don't understand the ability to control DC with this app. It's quite simple. The app is communicating directly with the decoder, I believe. So what that means is the decoder is using the DC power. So you basically just crank your controller up, as far as I can tell. So you've got DC power to the track. On your Bluetooth control app, you then tell the locomotive what it will do. The decoder then controls the motor, presumably can play the sounds as well, but it's using the DC power on your track, I would guess. Timbersurf says, does this mean they will drop TTS? I would suspect that TTS will get phased out, as in they just won't release anymore. And Graham Muzz confirms, yes, app-based and no base command system, just needs track power. So that means that you can control your Bluetooth decoders on your regular system. They're just leeching the power from the track. But I'm guessing you can also control them from the base station as well, just like you would with a regular decoder. Again, I'm going to talk to Hornby about this. I think that this is definitely a paradigm shift in DCC control. Within Model Railway says, but surely DC uses DC current while DCC uses AC current. Aha! But the motor in your locomotive always uses DC. What happens is that a DCC decoder has a bridge rectifier to turn AC into DC. But theoretically, and certain decoders you can run on DC just by, they will work. In fact, most decoders will work on DC as long as you don't have anything like a high frequency track cleaner will blow them. But essentially, you just bypass the bridge rectifier. It doesn't need the bridge rectifier to rectify AC to DC, because if the track power is DC, what it would mean theoretically, as I read this, is that via Bluetooth you're communicating directly with the decoder, and you're telling it what power it sends to the motor. Game Hammer Classic Gaming confirms either smartphone or tablet. Yeah, Edward Vincent Brianna's the analogy is just like Bluetooth headphones. It's a tried and tested, bulletproof, reliable system. Bluetooth has been around for God. I've had like 3 or 4 phones over the course of my phone lifetime that have all had Bluetooth. It's not a new thing. It's tried and tested, reliable technology. And I think it's a great idea, using something that everybody's already got to make controlling your stuff a lot easier. Angus's Trains asks, so I can mix my DC and DCC. To some extent, as far as I can tell from what I've seen, you can run the Bluetooth decoders on a DC track, controlling them from your smartphone. But the way it would work is that you couldn't have another locomotive on the track, because effectively the track power is needed by that Bluetooth fitted locomotive. Iron Horse Railway says, it seems to be that with the presence of the term free sound profiles, that there's a possibility of Hornby releasing a premium sound range to go on their decoders for a nominal fee, maybe 20 pence. No, objection, speculation. I don't think so. I think it's more a case that the sound profiles, they're free to download because you can only use them. Well, you can only download them via the app. You can only use them on these decoders. So it's not in Hornby's interest to charge extra for them. I think this would be quite all right. But yeah, that's an interesting point. Trains, Kits, etc. says, going around the train show looking for people's locos to pair with and hijack. That might be interesting. And right on track. Yeah, Bluetooth is much better than infrared used to be. Timbersurf says, though Bluetooth has limited distance, Wi-Fi will give you much longer distances. But yeah, you try using Wi-Fi in a crowded model railway event. Bluetooth, though, the range is reasonable. Certainly, you'd need a blooming big railway room to go out of range of the Bluetooth between your smartphone and the loco. The average model railway, unless you wander off, and I'm guessing the locomotives have some means whereby, just like ordinary DCC, as long as track power's there, it will continue on its last command until told otherwise. And yeah, Timbersurf, Bluetooth is about 10 meters. Yeah, but like 10 meters, that's what, 33 feet approximately. That's bigger than my railway room in any one direction. If you went and squeezed into a corner, then you'd still have perfect range to the locomotive squeezed into the diagonally opposite corner. I think that's perfectly reasonable, and it's actually going to work at exhibitions. Graham MCK says, nice update from the team at Hornby. Just pre-ordered the Class 101 in Strathclyde PTE livery. Wanted one last time. Glad they have brought it back into the range. Tim Maslin says, yeah, unless Bluetooth has passcodes, it could easily be done to take control of each other's trains without too much effort. Call me Snake. Says Pete Waterman won't use it. His layout way bigger than Bluetooth range. Yeah, but he's very much in a minority in terms of that size of layout. 33 feet or 10 meters. More than enough. And Tim Maslin says you can get Bluetooth boosters to go on a large layout, so there are ways and means. Iron Horse Railway says Bluetooth can reach up to 1/2 mile with boosters. Speaking of which, do we know what version of Bluetooth they're using? Sam Yates says Bluetooth 4.2 is 60 meters, Bluetooth 5 is 240 meters. It depends on the revision. I know from work, if I wander off and leave my phone in the cab of one of the vehicles and I wander off with the Bluetooth headset, on a call or something, I can actually get quite far away from the cab before it cuts out. And Sam Yates says 10 meters is the Bluetooth original. It's a bit like USB. USB 1, you never really saw it, because actually USB 1.1 was the version that almost every computer had, and then that very quickly became USB 2, then USB 3, and I'm guessing USB 4 is probably well on the way. Angus's Train says, I'll be able to have some fun at exhibitions. It is an interesting point. I wonder if they have actually put any consideration to that, or maybe find that your neighbour has a train set running. That could be fun, because it will go. Will it go through walls? You can go, oh, somebody on the street has got a Hornby Bluetooth decoded locomotive. Well, we'll be. This is getting real, isn't it? Angus's Train says, so do all my DCC decoders now need new decoders to do the system, or can I mix them? You can mix them, because you'd still control your regular DCC decoders using your existing DCC control. 3B Rail asks, is it me, or is the app currently available, not the old HM600 6000 DC one? I've never really investigated the apps and stuff, but this for me is, if you pardon the pun, the killer app. Bluetooth, this Bluetooth stuff really impressed. Absolutely impressed. So I am going to investigate, and I think for completion we should take a... Oh, go away. The Play Trains range has been expanded. Really great for getting youngsters into the range. I have had a play with these. They're a great price point, and you've got to get them young or you don't get them at all. So I think the Play Trains range is definitely really good. We've got some really interesting... What's this star? It's got a face on. Woohoo! Because, of course, as we all know, Thomas the Tank Engine does not have exclusivity for faces on trains and anthropomorphizing trains. Because there's a comic that was put out in the 19th century. You know the word I'm aiming for. It's not exclusive to Thomas the Tank Engine, just in case people are going, oh, it's inspired by. But this is definitely a great way of getting people into the trains. Right, MacNavi says, very unlikely you can connect two smartphones at the same time to the Bluetooth decoder. That makes sense, because you can't connect two Bluetooth phones to, say, the same hands-free in a car at the same time, for the same reasons. And whether it's a technical reason or not, it's actually a very good security reason. So if somebody else is already connected to that decoder, the only thing is, if somebody manages to connect to your train before you do, that could be really annoying. It does actually provide the possibility, and I'm just going to put this out there, at a show you could have a layout where with Bluetooth you could invite members of the public to take control of a train and actually run the train on the layout from the smartphone. You'd have to have some kind of master override so you could boot people so that they didn't hog the locomotives or they didn't remain connected when they wandered off elsewhere in the hall. But definitely there's some great possibilities with this. 3B Rail says the one on the App Store is the DC one. And Iron Horse Railway says the app isn't available yet. Right, okay, I'm with you. Yeah, Play Trains range looks good. Great for getting youngsters into the hobby. Very, very important, has to be said. And let's have a look. Diesel and electric locos. DP1 in the Hornby 00 range. That's actually a picture of the real DP1. So, I'm not sure where they've picked this, to be honest. Deltic's been done to death. We've got the Bachmann version. Hornby do have a railroad version lurking about somewhere. A Cura scale. Bachmann did the DP one, and that's been sold numerous production runs, always very popular. It's already out there in significant numbers. So I find that to be a little bit of an odd choice, but we've got some great value sets here. Now, the Freightmaster train set looks to be Railroad Plus Class 20, which is the old Lima moulding. Not too bad. $169.99 for, look what you get here, actually. You're getting a loco, wagon, container flat, coach. I think that's super detailed. I mean, the coach alone, you're looking at a 35 quid RRP, 40 quid RRP coach. Brake van as well. That looks to be the older tooling brake van. But then we've got track. There's a siding here. Control. That's actually a really, really good deal. HST train packs. So we've got the LNER one, $362.99. Original Intercity. And then we've got the executive livery. So this is like the earlier Intercity executive. I remember them like this. $402.99 though. Oh, this does come with sound. So it's $402 compared to $360. So we've got a £40 uplift for sound on the HST. And this is what I mean about inconsistency in the pricing structure. The uplift to go sound fitted seems to vary a lot. Mr. Matthews though says those container wagons are awful. They wobble all over the place. Edward Vincent Briones says Hornby said that the old Deltic scale models were reskinned class 55s. GWR Buckley Junction says Bachmann do an N-gauge one. Wangok says DP1 looks brilliant. That photo was of the real one. GWR Buckley Junction says I want it gold plated for that price. So we've got the EWS train pack. Then we've got the Class 960 in rail track livery. This is a former Class 121, I think. $96.99. That's not a bad looking model, actually. It's just these goalpost couplings. Hornby could do themselves a lot of favours if they actually warmed over the tooling to just give you NEM pockets. And it would make these Railroad and Railroad Plus models so good. Now we've got the Strathclyde PTE Class 101, $134.99 compared to, I think, Bachmann's 101. You're going well over that. So, you know, for the more budget conscious modeler, there we are. Doesn't look too bad. The livery applications do make or break a model, and you can make an older tooling model look amazing with just an upgrade. Now this is interesting, right? This is the Railroad Plus model, but look, there's no couplings shown on it. Does this mean we're getting an upgrade on the couplings? In which case, this could be a really, really nice model. Iron Horse Railway says the inconsistency with price bumps for sound would suggest there's quite a difference in cost price to Hornby, hence why some are only £30 but others are £40 plus. I don't know, because surely it's the same decoder. Simon Trains Model Railway Showcase says if you live on the Northern Trains network, they're going to be releasing 50p, £1 and £1.50 tickets today for travel between 17th of January and 10th of March if you love a bargain. That is a bargain. Timbersurf says, how can the HST be £300 when the 101 is only £130? Now, the HST is all new tooling. I was shown it at, I think it was at Worley. They've got kinematic couplings. They've got lots of different light functions. There is a lot going on. They're not the old tooling, so don't think that the HSTs are old tooling. They're not. It's completely recoupled. Edward Vincent Briones says there are NEM coupling sockets on bogies. I think is that what we're looking at here. This could be quite interesting development with the Railroad Plus. Really looking forward to seeing some of these Railroad Plus models. The 37 though, you can see what I mean. It looks nasty with those goalpost couplings. Would be massively improved for decent couplings. The last of tonight's this morning's beverage of choice. So let's have a look now. This is an illustration of how I think Railroad Plus could so easily be massively improved. Now, the bulk of this model is fairly reasonable. What lets it down are the wheel centres. They're just blanks. They're generic wheels. A plastic sprue with push-in wheel inserts to give the correct dished profile that they should have on the Class 42s and 43s. Just 8 on a sprue, left for the end user to push in themselves if they want them, and change those couplings to NEM pockets. You can have slimline tension locks. And this model would be incredible value, even for like $99.99, an extra £10 on that. Easily charge that, keep it under the £100 price point. I think psychologically that would make this a huge seller. It's a shame we've not got a Class 42 or 43 sound file in the downloadable sound files. I wonder if there are going to be more announced. But certainly this could be an amazing value model for some very easy upgrades. Those wheel centres look nasty to me. I'm sorry, Hornby, but they do. Just like an Airfix style sprue moulded in polystyrene for a push fit piece. Even just like a little wee dab of glue, push them in, Bob's your uncle. I think that would much improve this model and get rid of the goalpost couplings. But other than that, this is amazing value at $89.99. Let's have a look. Railroad Plus Class 47. Again, we've got to get rid of those goalpost couplings. Sorry, Hornby, it's time. It's an easy thing to upgrade. You're not upgrading the full model. Just a little bit of a warm over, and it would make these incredible value. And I think it would massively increase sales. I think, for the budget conscious, and, let's not beat around the bush. Prices are going quite high. The price point on the Railroad Plus models is very favourable, and I think a lot of people would buy them because they're on limited budgets. The decoration on these models is superb, and just let down by those couplings. So we've got a Class 67 here. That looks to be... They look to be the goalpost couplings as well. I can hear something echoing. Have I got sound on or something? I mean, it's again the 67 is a nice model. I think it was the last model that Lima tooled up before they went bust. Again, we look at the 73, a great rendition of livery, a lot of nice detail on this, but let down by those couplings. But, we're still under the £100 point. Iron Horse Railway says, I don't know if it's just me, but the bodies of those railroad diesels just seem to be sat really high on the bogies. I know what you mean, a little bit. Yeah, the 37s. And I'm looking at it from the point of view, business perspective. Retooling it's going to be too expensive. You don't want to do that. You're wanting a good value model, and I think that changing those couplings to NEM pockets would mean that they would appeal to so many more modelers natively, because people look at those and go, they just look wrong. Can't take them off. They're moulded as part of the bogie. But if you can just add in a NEM pocket, then your standard NEM pockets push in and give you not just tension lock couplings, but people can change them for KDs, any of the other couplings, Hunt magnetic couplings. And I think that it would turn a lot of people into considering the Railroad Plus models who might be put off by those couplings. Sam Yates says, yeah, they look a bit odd, fine for the beginner, budget conscious though. And I think that they would appeal to far more people if they could just fix those couplings. Sound version is... So we're getting a sound version option at 100 and... Oh, yeah, right, so that price is wrong. It's actually $119.99. Right, previous GB Rail Freight 73s have NEM pockets. I would assume these do as well. Right, that is actually good information, Mr. Matthews. So if they have NEM pockets, then kudos to you, Hornby. It's just misleading pictures at the moment, but yeah, that always happens. They Photoshop them onto the pictures. Now, Wardle Road, good morning. What have I missed? Any highlights? Well, the standout for me, the Bluetooth decoder range. I have to say to you, it is a killer app. It's a Simon Kohler, you absolute genius moment. I think that really is the killer app, if you pardon the pun. The Bluetooth range of decoders really is something special. Oh, we've got the Class 101 as a Class 960 Iris 2. They always sell well. These as well. This one, DL81, London Transport Green Livery Sentinel. I do like that. Not too badly priced, £108.99. Don't forget that is the full RRP. We will get a slight discount from retailers who are stocking these. We also get this bright yellow one for more modern modelers. And now here's the Gronks. GB Rail Freight 08818 Molly has a number 4 on the side. I'm sure I have seen that at Cardiff Tidal. There's at least 2 there that potter around, and I have seen them from the road because I go past there to Wolf Studios from time to time. And then we've also got the BR Green version is offered with the TXS sound. See, this is what I mean, right? So we've got here £185.99 for the non-sound version. And whilst, yes, different livery, although not as complex a livery, £263.99 with sound. That's nearly an £80 uplift just for the sound decoder. And that's what I mean about inconsistency in the pricing structure. We've also got sound fitted Class 56 in Cardiff as Cardiff Rod Mill, number 56060. So again, the TXS sound appears to replace TTS, and definitely really liking this. And I like the fact that you can just download the sounds onto them. So what I'm going to do now is put myself up on the screen, and I'm going to ask people then, what do people think then of this range? What for you has been the standout items? I think for me, number one, head and shoulders above anything else, it's got to be the Bluetooth range. So we've got, I can hear like an echo coming back at me. Is something echoing? Or is it just, let me just move that. Is that better? I don't want Netflix. What is this doing? I didn't press anything and it just suddenly decided it wanted to show me Netflix. I don't want Netflix. Iron Horse Railways says, as nice as the Sentinel is, the one I had did suffer from poor drive. The gears would slip from the driving axle and the couplings would catch on point rails. I had 2 that did this. Oh, interesting. I got 2 and I've not had problems with any of them. Right, so we've got the Bluetooth decoders. Absolutely stand out for me. Edward Vincent Brianna says, other than Bluetooth, the LMS B17 in apple green livery. Yeah, it has to be said. Why is stupid web? Oh, it's the browser. The browser that caused us so much trouble early on is still causing us trouble. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to bring this up. And I'm going to... So there on your screen, it's a weird little thing. It looks like an A4, but then you look closely and it's like, hold on, it's missing the trailing axle. I never knew about these. Streamlined B17 5. These do look really interesting. I'm going to, after this, I'm going to go away and look up this locomotive. It's coloured me intrigued. I am curious when they lasted to. It's something I'm completely unfamiliar with. I thought that it was just the A4 and the W1 that had that kind of streak look to them, but this really has fired up my imagination. So yeah, Edward Vincent Briones, a Gresley High on Bugatti streamlining, and mini squashed A4, says Angus's trains. D. John Paradon says reblowing the sound but still using a physical control will be great. Yeah, I'm going to contact Hornby actually later this morning. I'm going to try and get some more information on the Bluetooth range, and certainly look at sorting out for a review of that. I think that for me is definitely the standout product. But this is interesting. I think this is going to go down really well. It's like a diet A4. Wardle Road, I believe the decoder does work as normal through a standard DCC system. Right, so we've got the B17 there. Let's put me back on screen. Graham MCK says, for me, the Strathclyde PTE. I grew up with the orange and black trains, mainly the Class 303 on the Clyde North Line. Also, the buses were orange and black. Lee D. Holden says, for me, the Class 47 BR Green and the Prototype Deltic. Prototype Deltic for me, very, very strange choice, but Hornby 00 range. We'll be keeping an eye on these and any old stock from different manufacturers in the sales over the next year. Within Model Railway says, based on previous product launches, I do not believe any of the ETAs of these new locos. I think that actually delivery from China is going to improve because they're now no longer locking the country down just over one COVID case being found. I think that will feed through to much more reliable production from the factory at the drop of a hat. So you might find that these delivery times are more sustainable. Angus's train says Tiger, though no planet, and also they would like to see Sans Spiral. So for me, I think the head and shoulders above the rest, the Bluetooth range of decoders, this has the potential to be a massive paradigm shift. The price point for the sound decoders is very, very good. You're talking less than half the price of something like an ESU or a Zemo. And the fact that the user can, what appears to be through the app, uploading over Bluetooth, download the sound file of the locomotive you want and then just upload it. That for me is an amazing development and gives them huge flexibility. And from their point of view, it's great because it means that you don't need all these separate product lines and distribution and packaging. You have one product and then the end user puts the sound file they want on it. And that will really streamline the process for Hornby. And gone are the days where people go, oh, I wanted a J36 sound file. It's like, well, we can give you a rebuilt Merchant Navy or a HST, but we don't have that one. Gone is that. And it also means that Hornby can expand the sound library without needing to feed that through on the hardware level. Number 2 for me, it's got to be the Puggy Poo Prince in the, I think it's St. Helens glass livery. That maroon, I think that looks really, really great. A big, big thank you to Sam Yates, who has donated 10 Aussie dollars. And thank you so much for your generosity there on the Super Chat. And says, stupid, stupid, stupid browser replacement fund. I know, it's this computer, it's a Mac, and Macs just go, do things our way. And it's like a mouse. What is it with a mouse with one button? I'm sorry, you know, we'd already proven that 2 buttons on your mouse was really useful. So why does Apple go, here, hold my beer, let's just ruin that. Let's just mix stuff up. Ham Shackleton says, read the sound chips. Is the speaker in the loco as now, or does it use your phone speaker and you have to pretend the sound is from the loco? No, it did go over that. There are plug-in sound decoders that speakers that come with the sound chip, so you don't have to buy them separately. The decoder, as I understand it, comes with a solder-free plug-in speaker and some sprues to make up your own speaker enclosure. and I think it's got a lot more flexibility, and for install as well. It means you can feed the speaker in, feed the speaker wire where you need it to go. I think it's a great development. They also include plug-in stay alive options, including for the first time on the sound decoders. No messing about with soldering. It just plugs in, and I think that for sound models is a great development. Wamgok says, I need more info on the Bluetooth first. Yeah, I know, you and me both. But the S&D locos are a must. Would like a B17 and a DP1. Dunster buildings as well. Big hello to Ryan Tune. D. John Pardon says, I'm still looking forward to getting a Flying Scotsman with sound and steam from last year. Wamgox, already read that out. Simon Trades Model Rail Showcase says, I'm off now, getting some breakfast before Northern start their flash sale. Have a great day, everyone. Look, you take care as well. And thanks for joining us. Mr. Matthews says, I wonder, is the Bluetooth sound decoder going to be the standard fitted decoder on future sound releases? Again, not sure, but I think that may be the case. It would make sense to have one product line at Hornby. Mr. Matthew, oh, I've just read that out. Iron Horse Railway says, Jen, not sure if this is true, but I can't see it in the Hornby site. If what is true. Mark Holt says, thought my banker got away with it until he announced 3 Great Gathering A4s I don't own. Iron Horse Railway says, Model Junction appeared to have a listing for a Railroad Class 110 DMU 3-car unit in green for 2023. Does that mean that there are extra models that, for whatever reason, aren't here? Let's have a look. Oh, stupid thing. Right. N15741 and stuff. Yeah, we've seen that. Probably got a Fowler for 8F. J36 Apple Green. A4s, 9S, LMY Pug. Yeah, Class 08 liveries. I'm not seeing anything on my cheat sheet list that we've not covered. D. John Pardon says the 110 was last year. That'd be the green one. I think you might be right. Iron Horse Railway says I sent you a link on Messenger. So, oh, lots and lots of stuff has come in. So we've got an order form from Hornby. So let's have a look. I'm just seeing if there's any more information. I've got the official Hornby. Let's have a look. I'm just looking down the list now. You can tell I'm old. I have to take my glasses off to read these days. I don't see. So what's available? We've got a lot of play trains is available. Flying Scotsman. We're looking at January for some of those releases. Flying Scotsman 100th anniversary 4-wheel coach. Not sure what that is. I don't remember seeing that. We've got availability right now on a number of the sets. And J36. There's a lot for October. June, October, November. Already sold out on some of the Hornby 00 stuff. These aren't the new releases. Oh, some of these are. DP1, we're looking at December. I'm not seeing the Bluetooth stuff on this list. LMR, let's have a look. January 2023 for the Tiger train back. Looking down the coaching stock, and oh, they've got a lot in stock. Times Coach Pack, January 2023. Wellington, Globe and Queen Adelaide's coach. So those are the coach names on that train pack. Looking at December 2023. A lot of these are not coming till later on in this year. So I'm looking down this list. I'm looking for the Bluetooth stuff. Oh, blooming things. Right, so we've got we are looking at January release, so imminent for 6-pin, 8-pin decoders, and also the triple sound Bluetooth decoders, the 8-pin version for January. The next 18 is down for March, although the sound, that's just the plain next 18 with Bluetooth. Sound next 18 says January. 21-pin regular March. And sound 21-pin January. But we're looking at, the reverse loop is December. Power bank available in January. I'm going to have to contact them just to get some more information. So just going to try and find Iron Horse Railways list. So the Model Junction one. The 3-car Class 110 is last year's order. And I think the Hornby website is still struggling. It's not letting me load that up. So where are we up to? Let's have a look at some of your comments. Yeah, Mr. Matthews, I think you're right. The 3-car 110 is previous year's range. 3B Rail says, Jenny, many thanks for the books, much appreciated. You're welcome, and thank you so much for your support of the channel. I'm glad that they've arrived safely. Wamgok says, thanks Jenny for a great program. See you soon. Bye all. You take care. Ben Davis says hello again, and Ben Davis asks, what did people think of the range? I think the general consensus is that the Bluetooth stuff is gone down really, really well. I do quite like, the B17. I think that's probably going to be the very, very popular as well. So really looking forward to that. It really intrigues me. What else? Let's just bring this up on screen. There's a lot of these Era 1 things. The Tiger train pack I think is going to be very, very popular. That's due imminently, January 2023. I do like the look of that. I think that that's going to be something very, very popular. Lee D. Holden says, just seen the price of the DP1, was thinking it was railroads. No, it's Hornby 00. We'll be getting the Class 47 and J37, depending on if you can get them. I think it's the J36, or do you mean the Class 37? Right, so let me just... Oh, apparently, I've just noticed that the Cupboard Monkey has fed me duff information. So if you saw me entering my password, please don't bother. I'll have that changed soon. I like this coach. Right, so what I'm going to do is bring that up full screen. That coach on the end, that is, let me just, if for some reason it's chopping it off the end, that coach is colouring me a shade of intrigued. So let's have a look now. No, why is it? Oh, I'm not used to this browser. It must be said. So scrolling down. Where's the Puggy Poo gone? Come here, Puggy Poo. Puggy Poo. There we go. This, for me, massive standout absolute stone cold standout. I claim full credit for it. I did send Simon Kohler the image of this locomotive and a little note saying, what about this, in February last year. So I claim full credit. You can thank me. That is my number 2. The J36 in that BR apple green, that's probably a very close number 3. B17-5, very close number 4. They're the standouts for me. I know everybody will have their own different standouts. Gordon McIlroy says managed to order the SDJR4F. But look, we're going to start to round down now because it's 9:45. We've been on air for 3 hours. That's actually unbelievable. It has gone very, very quickly. So thank you everybody for joining us. Sam Yates says the pug Prince. They should have given it the nameplate Jenny. Actually, it had 2 names in its industrial life. It was Bassett and it was Prince. I think Prince is it was the more recent name, but when it first sold into industrial, then it was Bassett. Ian White asks, anything good in the diesel models? Really looking forward to some of the Railroad Plus models, and we're not sure. We think they're coming with NEM pocketed couplings, but the images show them with goalpost couplings, but that may just be livery renders. Wiven Model Railway, the only image that there is of the Queen Adelaide coach is actually a photo of the real one. I don't think it's progressed. There's certainly no CAD images or anything, or livery renders. Mousehole Rail says, as always, it's been a great stream. Thank you so much. I'm starting to trip over my words. I've been running on not much sleep. So, look, it just got time for me to say thanks, everybody, for coming. It's been great to have your company, and until next time, you take great care. We've got a regular video coming tomorrow. We're doing the Hellion ES1 full review of that, and really looking forward to showing you that great model. And then on Friday, it's going to be bargain hunt time. We've been on a bargain hunt going through the TMC January sale, and I pick out, I think it's 5 different items that I think are standout choices at great value for money that won't break the bank. I know you already got a sneak peek of 2 of them on the Monday Club yesterday, that Class 25 from Hellion and also the Bachmann H2 Brighton Atlantic. But until next time, you guys take great care of yourself. Don't forget to tickle the like button, share the stream as well to social media, let everybody know that you can have the full, fair, unbiased and in-depth look at the Hornby 2023 range on this stream. And I just seen Sam Yates says, no, me bargains, with apologies.